Hello and welcome to another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele richtig spielt. My name is Nils and today we are talking in a nutshell Black Hat Dragon Dawn Productions. Cool name, by the way. So this is a trick-taking game, and it's a large box for just a card game. So it's not just a card game. There's a game board, a double-sided game board inside the box, and of course a bunch of cards. As you maybe know, trick-taking games are usually one player is leading and playing a card and everybody has to follow. In this case, you're leading the trick by either playing one card of a type, 2, 3, 4, 5, multiple of the same cards. So, for an example, you have 1 11, maybe 2, 3 or 5 11s. The next player has to just follow, and not with 11s. No, he has to follow with either 1, a doublet, a triplet, or even more cards. So, let's say I'm playing out 3 11s. Let's say I'm leading the trick like this, and play 1, 2, 3 11s. Then, all of my opponents have the chance of playing a triplet as well. So, let's say he has 3 7s. So he could play simply 3 7s. If the next player doesn't have a triplet, he is forced to play 1 card. So you always play 1 card, or you just simply follow the number of cards. Whoever has the highest card value is the leader. So when it is 3 cards, only the player who are following on 3 cards compete in this. So this player is totally out. So these are competing, and the player with the highest number wins the trick. So that's easy enough. So when you win a trick, there are these pawns coming into play. You are starting here. You can decide move one of your pawns like this here or that one. Let's assume orange is now winning the trick and he wanted to go forward. On each single space there could be only 1, and you just jump on here. Now the leading player, in this case the player who did the 11, this goes into a discard pile, and he is just now leading the trick again. You should notice that there are cards from number 1 up to number 13 in the deck. There are of course jokers in the deck and 2 so-called black hats. The wild or joker cards can be any other card as well. What a surprise, what a surprise. And the black hat is a wild card as well. However, these wild cards has a little bit of a difference. There's only 1 in the game. These are just 2 artworks, so you start the game and throw immediately 1 black hat out of the game. There's only 1, and this is changing the rule. Right now, the player with the lowest card. So in this case here, the player with a 1 will win the game. Simply that easy is the game. Again, whoever wins the trick can move on here on 1 on this or that one, 1 forward, and that's it. Whenever a black hat is in play, the person who is winning the trick, in this case the 1, is deciding to either take all cards or taking the black hat, and in this case a 1. If you should start with, let's say, 3 7s, then it's the black hat and 3 7s. That could be good, that could not be good. You start your hand with 10 cards, and the only way to get more cards is either by a black hat card or a rule I'm not mentioning right now because that's a once in a lifetime rule. Anyway, so whoever gets rid of his cards first, then the round is over and the round just scores negative points. We have this scoring board here, and this simply means let's assume you have these 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on your hand left over. Then you get 2, 1, 1 and 1, 5 minus points. The black hat card is, as you can see, also 5 minus points. But anyway, this person has right now 5 minus points. Let's assume he's orange, then he gets an additional 2, an additional 1 from here, which would be 8 minus points for orange. If blue would end the hand without any cards, he get 2 and 2 from here and would score 4 minus points. Whoever has the lowest number of points at the end of the game will win the game. And the game is over when one of these pawns entering here this last piece of the map. That's the whole game. So let's talk a little bit about the black hat and my personal experiences, as always, in a nutshell. So first of all, I have to say there are a couple of, no, I wouldn't say a couple, I should say a lot of trick-taking games on the market. Very famous in the US and English-speaking area is, I guess, Bridge, of course, Tichu, hopefully correctly pronounced, and Wizard. So these are the really popular trick-taking games. My personal problem was, as for an example, Tichu or Bridge is, you have to be very experienced, really played that game 1 million times to compete with really experienced players. Black Hat is a little bit different. This game is fresh, nobody is really good in that, and the rules are so simple. It's simpler than Tichu and all the other ones, so it's easier to get into this trick-taking game with Black Hat than Tichu or Bridge, of course. By the way, in Germany, the most popular trick-taking games are Skat or Doppelkopf. And both of them has the same. So if you're a really experienced player in Skat, you beat every newbie. So it doesn't matter if the newbie has the best hand ever, you will beat him. And Doppelkopf is the same. If you always play the game with the same team, it's a lot of fun. It's the best game. It's one of the best games ever. But on the other hand, if you're a newbie, you will likely lose the game again and again and again. This is not in Black Hat because it's new, it's fresh, and everybody is newbie in here. It's had comparable easy rules, and therefore the learning curve is not so dramatically like in the other ones. I also like that this game is playable, and I use the word playable really careful in this situation, from 2 to 6 player. If you play that game with 2 players, you have a dummy player, it's okay. Of course it's not great, but it's playable with 2 players. So Doppelkopf has 4 players, Bridge has 4 players, Skat has 3. There are a couple of, like Wizard or Tichu, they are playable with different ones. But I have to say the big point on that is it's a big box game. You have a board in it, you have these little tokens in here, you have an additional cards in here that changes the rooms. It's not super important for the game, but it blows up the box size. And now it's up to you to decide if you are on fire for trick-taking games and want to try out a new trick-taking game, because all of the other ones that you already love or play are maybe not appealing to your group or whatever, then Black Hat should be one you should try out. On the other hand, if you're not a fan of trick-taking games, this game might not appeal to you. But the point I want to say is, this is a $45 US game, or 50 on a different shop. It's really hard to get it in the US, but anyway, it's 45 bucks. If you buy Tichu and you have exactly the same fun if you're playing that a lot of, with this friends, they like it as well. So then you pay probably 10 to 15 bucks. So why there is a board in it, why there's all of that is that really giving a lot to the game? From my opinion, sorry, not. If you really wanted to start with a trick-taking game, start with a simple game like Wizards and go from there. If you're on fire for that, go ahead. If you have a fixed group, go ahead with Tichu or things like that. But if you wanted to have the ability to try that one here out, Black Hat, for the first time ever, and you have never played a trick-taking game, maybe this is a good entry for you, and go from there as well. I would be really interested in what my friends Daryl, San, Dan and Frank have to say about Black Hat, so please all of you reply and give me a comment, because I really wanted to know what you think about Black Hat, because you are the guys I'm always seeing at every single convention playing Tichu. 5 hours in a row. All of you loving Tichu and all the trick taking games. Are you interested in Black Hat? Have you ever tried it? Please let me know. Yeah, that was in a nutshell Cyrils Brettspiele durchgespielt. My name is Nils and see you next time.